Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, episode 86. We're on a Wednesday night here. It's a later one in the week, bit of a strange timing for us. Life has been busy. I'm Tony, and with me this week is Ben. You there, Ben?
How you doing, mate?
All good, mate. And seeing as James is away, enjoying the sunshine and other things over in Venezuelan island,
In the island of Fernando.
That's where he is. He's left us behind. We're happy to have him on for this week. Scott, also known as Dream Team Professor. You might have caught
Evening, lads.
YouTube videos. Evening, mate. You there? All good?
Yeah, all good. Thank you. Yeah. Pleasure to be on.
No, thanks for coming along, mate. It's going to be nice to pick the brains of someone new. Recent Patreon subscriber as well. So thanks for your support as well, mate.
Sad not to have a chat with James though. He was. I'd had a bit of banter with him over the past couple of seasons.
Yeah, you are. You bit of competition between you both, weren't they?
I haven't kept up with him though the last couple.
Oh, you'll probably say that you'll be keeping up with him this year. He's not happy as James with his performance so far. Right. Just a bit about yourself, mate. So obviously Scott, also known as Dream Team Professor. How long have you been playing fantasy football, mate?
Yeah, well, I was trying to have a little look at this actually because, God, I've been playing for such a long time, really, probably over 10 years now. But it's only really been, I'd say, the past 2 years that I discovered there's a whole Twitter community, like the whole fantasy football community. So it's kind of opened my eyes to the game quite a bit more, to be honest. So yeah, really, I'd say I've been playing seriously for 2 years. But it went all the way back to about 10 years ago. I started playing in like work leagues with my football teammates and all that sort of stuff. Probably how everyone starts off, I guess, that ends up on football Twitter. Really the last 2 years. And that's pretty much how I found you guys, really. Probably over the sort of lockdown time. I don't know how I found you, but it was when you were first on YouTube, definitely. Because you were on YouTube before Spotify, wasn't it? Yeah. I definitely was following before you went to Spotify. But yeah, pretty much around that sort of time when the lockdown happened, that's when I started watching all the videos, and I was so used to at work, like just chatting to people day to day, and it went to just, all right, what do I do now? Who are you on your own? So I was just listening to podcasts and stuff while I was working. That's how I found you guys, really. But I think it was always a bit inevitable because I've got my mates and I've got my work colleagues that we used to play, and we've sort of got group chats, but I was always the one that was a bit, it was probably the same with you, but always the one that was a bit too into it compared to everyone else. Everyone say, give it a rest. It's quite good to have found you guys and the rest of the community, really, because sort of found people that are on my level in terms of, I don't know, addiction's not the right word, but maybe passion, I don't know.
We found your home, mate.
Yeah. When it comes to... Sorry?
I was just going to say, have you always played Sun Dream Team, or have you played other games?
So it was really only Sun Dream Team, to be honest. That was the only game that I was playing, and then just, obviously, when there was a World Cup or a Euros, we'd do that one. But it's only been... fantasy football, all my friends have played the FPL game for quite a few years, and I'd always do that thing where they send me the link, I join, I make a team, and then I just forgot about it, basically. It's not been since about the last 2 years when I started sort of taking that a little bit more seriously as well, when you follow the content creators and stuff like that. But yeah, overall though, to be honest, before going on Twitter and all that sort of thing, I thought that Dream Team was sort of the biggest game. Still is for us, but I was surprised to find out how many people play all the other formats as well.
Yeah, obviously there's a few other massive ones, isn't there? I'd argue Dream Team's the best.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Most definitely.
Keeps you covered all week, doesn't it?
Yeah. How did you get on last season?
So last season, I had a howler, to be honest. I was actually digging through all my old screenshots. I imagine you've probably got loads as well, but I was going through all my old screenshots and trying to find it. I even had a look on is it FF stuff to try and see if I could get it on there, but
Yeah.
I've got no record of it. But yeah, I know it was bad. Well into the thousands. Yeah, but so that pretty much comes onto it that I mean, by no means am I an expert. I have made the YouTube channel and I've started posting a lot more on Twitter, but I'm not one of these experts. I'm not an elite manager. I'm just someone that's very passionate about it, I'd say. But yeah, not very well at all. Actually, probably the main sort of turning point last season where things just went from bad to worse was quite similar to Connor. So I speak to Connor quite a lot, and well, I think it was on the pod too, but I end up making that move to the Chelsea block as well.
Yeah.
The notorious Chelsea block. And I ended up. I fell behind, and I was too stubborn to get on the Liverpool block. It got away from me and was too expensive. So yeah, I tried to go the Chelsea route, and obviously fell so much further behind. It was pretty terrible. What about you two? Because obviously you're flying at the minute, aren't you, Tony? But how did you both get on last year?
I think my team finished was like 180 something last season. But it was one of them gradual climbs. I was never really in contention for anything. This season is probably the best start I'd say I've had, being up there so early. Definitely the best start I've ever had. I've been up there around Christmas time before. I remember Raheem Sterling injury derailing me back when they only had a few subs a month, and I ended up finishing my 800 for that season when I were high up early doors. But yeah, good start this season. Last season, it was a gradual climb up to where probably passing a few dead teams, and I were very my best side. I went onto a Chelsea block like a lot of people did at that time to try and make up that ground. And that ended up falling away. My best team ended up being the one that was on the Liverpool train. And he ended up overtaking that team and finishing up towards, I say, 170 or whatever it was.
That's still really good, though.
Yeah, a decent season. Just never really flirted with the higher echelons.
Yeah, that last season, the Chelsea train didn't work out, but the first season when we did the podcast, I jumped on the Chelsea train and I ended up finishing 19th overall.
Yeah,
wow,
that worked out for me. But I started off that season. I had Dominic Calvert-Lewin and an Everton block defense at the start.
Yeah.
So I ended up being number one overall for a couple of weeks, and then Aguero got injured, and then I fell down, and obviously I had to get off the Everton train a little. But yeah, last season, it was a bit of a steady season, but I ended up finishing 180th overall. That was my best team.
That's still both brilliant, though, isn't it? That's what I'm sort of starting to learn now. Like when I was playing sort of only against friends and workmates and that sort of stuff, I've really had no perspective of what's a good season, the ranks. Like I didn't even know to look at the overall ranks. Like that was not even something I even considered until I started really listening and paying attention to the podcast and stuff. And I didn't make 10 teams either. I just used to do the one. So there's quite a few bits that I guess probably still quite a lot of people don't think about. So I wouldn't know how I did a long time ago, but my best season that I did pay attention to, and that was the year that I was giving James a bit of stick because we were in and out. I was listening to the pod, and that's when you started reading out the top 10, and I think I started getting near the top 10 of the pod, and I was like, I'm doing all right here. And then I think I kept going in and out, swapping with James. So I think I was just giving him a little bit of banter on Twitter, and that was quite a laugh. But that season I came. That was 2020, 2021, and I had that saved in my notes that I come 463rd. So that's probably the best season I imagine I've had.
It's a good finish. Mate. It's a really good finish.
Yeah. Well, this season I kind of wanted to go 1K. I think that was what I wanted to just be as like a more realistic target.
What were you going to say, Tone?
I think I've robbed your finish from last season. When you're now saying you were 180th,
Mm.
I think I was 288.
All right, yeah.
I, d-
The only reason I remember it was 180 because I was thinking of the darts.
yeah, yeah,
180.
yeah, yeah. I remember you doing it. That's probably what stuck in my head. I think I was 288 last
I think
season.
James finished 180th as well.
Did he?
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. We all ended up around a similar thing because obviously James were high up, but he wasn't that early. We were up to like 35th,
yeah,
and he went on a. Did he go on the Chelsea train?
yeah. He did, yeah, because he wanted to do it a bit of a differential to get to
Yeah,
the top 10.
attacking them Liverpool blocks
Mm.
because there were no other way around them really, and it all pointed towards that Chelsea
The
block being.
fixtures were beautiful,
Mm.
but
Yeah,
didn't
they
work
were.
out.
And it just went absolute peaked on. But if he'd have pulled that off, it'd have been up right up there
Mm.
within a shot of the money towards the end as well. So just really unfortunate, unlucky. Yeah. Obviously, speaking of James, he's a very pragmatic. He's quite a safe manager, or he usually is. He's been a bit more gun call this season. Um, what's your style? Are you a bit? What do you like with your transfers early doors? Do you like to hold them, save them?
Yeah, so it kind of ties in with sort of seeing the game a little bit differently now. I've got involved with like following all you guys and being on Twitter and stuff. But I'd say beforehand, I really used to be quite a punty manager, like quite wild, really, with some of the picks that I used to do. I used to kind of pride myself in trying to find those like gems. So I'd have all of
Mm.
the sort of template players, but I used to think I had a pretty good eye of finding some of the cheaper ones to be
Yeah,
able to afford the big players. But yeah, it wasn't until I started seeing that like the overall rankings and stuff like that that it kind of pays to be a little bit template.
yeah.
So yeah, I've tried to reel it in a little bit to try and get a bit better because I used to just blow my transfers quite quickly. Um, so yeah, I've probably calmed down a little bit and got a bit more template, and now I just try and just, it sounds obvious, but try and pick the best players at the time because I was trying to be a bit too clever with my work friends and stuff like that. I used to just see, I used to even write in my notes like who hasn't got this player, I'll pick them.
Yeah,
So the typical differential, but in a league of maybe 10 or 15 people.
yeah.
So yeah, I've really started to try and calm down and be a bit smarter about the picks.
Well, it can pay off in your mini leagues, definitely. If
Mm,
you're just playing against 10 people. But like you say, you've got 10 teams to play with. If you just put one team in that mini league and you can play it that way with that team, and then
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
target the overall leaderboard with your other teams.
It's such a buzz when it works as well, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, definitely. Like in them smaller mini leagues, like you said, your work leagues, yeah, you could just you really can just destroy people. I had people just not wanting to play anymore at work, just fed up. And then one year I
Yeah.
got beat. I got beat. I think it met. Were it the first year of the podcast? I'm not too sure. I got beat off a woman at work, and I, I obviously sometimes you put the wrong teams in the leagues, don't you? But
Yeah.
so it wasn't one of my lesser sides that I got into Works League, and I've still not let her off. I've just accused her. She's been listening to the podcast, and
She's found you out.
she denies it. She denies it. I never listen to any pissing podcast, and she gets all angry about it. But I think she was listening to it. She must have been. She must have
I
been.
think that's just one of the best things. I think that's one of the best things about the game, though. Like the whole banter and the group chats and everything. Like
Yeah,
on the side of it. Like I don't know about you. Well, you've obviously got the Discord chat as well, which is brilliant. But like even
yeah.
just amongst my like football mates, we've got a chat called Dream Team Mind Games at the minute, and we just do all sorts of horrible stuff. So like we'll text that Haaland's not starting when he is. We'll shout goal for players that haven't really scored. It's got really out of hand now. It really is horrible. Putting fake team news in there.
Love it. Love it. Right. Nice little introduction there. Feel like you know you a bit better now, Scott. Um, let's see your team, mate. Let's see your team and how it's done so far this week. Obviously, there is some cup games going on. We are on a Wednesday. There's not that many players that have made them starting 11, so I don't think the scores or much will have changed thus far, unless you've got a bit of a Mahrez. But yeah,
No,
let's look
not.
through your 11, pal.
Yeah, well, shall I do the point? Shall I do the points from last weekend or?
Yeah, just what's on the screen there. What you got from so far this game week? Yeah,
Yeah, well, I brought David De Gea in. So I had Hugo Lloris, and I thought he was quite a good pick initially with those European fixtures, but Spurs have just
yeah,
gone down the pan, haven't they, recently?
they
So I
have.
finally moved De Gea in for Lloris, but my luck has followed, and he conceded three, didn't he, at the weekend?
Yeah,
I really wasn't expecting that from an Emery team, to be honest. I thought they were going to shut up shop.
yeah.
But yeah, I brought him in and I brought Dallo in as well. I think you probably see in the last few weeks I've had Sergio Gomez. He grabbed a nice red card for me, so I took him out for Dallo. He got a minus
And now he's
three.
suspended.
Minus three and suspended. So yeah, he's kind of feeling like everything I touch goes horribly wrong at the minute. But yeah, it's all part of the game. I had
Yeah.
Cancelo, who got a red card, so minus three. And that's if you listen to my podcast, I've been saying on that's my third red card now of the season. So in this team, I've got the Cancelo red card. I had Sergio Gomez who got the red card, but Sergio Gomez was actually my replacement for Emerson Royale, who also got a red card. So really not having much luck with those defenders at the minute. But Saliba's been good though. He's got me 8 points this week. I think he's been good all round, hasn't he? Really good player.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
The only thing is Gabriel's obviously been quite a bit better, but he was a little bit more expensive, I think, at the start of the season, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Saliba was nice and cheap, weren't he?
So I'm happy with how he's been. And then I've got Kieran Trippier, who I've just had to bring in, and I was slow to do it, to be honest. I've been bigging him up, but I just never had the transfers available to bring him in. But yeah, first week in, and he's got a 10-pointer.
Another star, man. I
Yeah, another star, man. I'm not sure how many that's up to now, but
think
yeah, I was
it's
looking back the
5
other
now.
day. Is it 5?
I think so,
Yeah, I was
yes.
looking the other day, and
This is
I think I
ridiculous.
saw that he'd only had 3 games this season. I think where he hadn't got the rating.
Mm.
It's
Crazy.
ridiculous. But yeah, I had to finally bring him in, and I expect to keep him now, even through the wild card. I think Kevin De Bruyne though, he's got 10 points, and I think I've pretty much had him all season. I think since about the second week, he's been brilliant. Erdegaard, no points from him though. I don't know if he'll get on the pitch today, but I had to bring him in for Saka in the end, just to get some budget for Trippier and Dallo. And Buemo, I'm not sure. I think he's probably someone that I probably got brought to my attention from the podcast. I think everyone's always been shouting about him. I've actually stuck with
Yeah.
him for most of the season. He's probably not done as well as I expected, but yeah, I'll take 7 points.
Yeah, definitely.
Any of you boys still got him?
No.
No, got rid of him
Actually,
quite early.
No.
I think I brought him in this week in one of my poorer teams as an enabler, just because it's before the wild card.
Definitely. No
And he got,
brainer this weekend taking a
yeah,
punt like that.
Forest and Gillingham. I thought he's got a good chance of scoring, but don't think he didn't start against Gillingham, did he? But he came on, scored a penalty in the shootout. But yeah, scored against Forest.
Yeah, he got lucky, really, didn't he? Because Ivan Toney was obviously suspended, so he ended up taking what would have been Tony's penalty, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I've got Miggy Almiron, he's been incredible, hasn't he? I haven't been
unreal.
on him for the whole. I haven't been on him for the whole streak, but I think I've got him. I've had him for I think it was the last 3 or 4 goals that he scored.
Good
Yeah,
going.
he's been brilliant.
Good going. Because you're sitting and you're waiting for that streak to end. And he's just kept going, hasn't he? Fair play to him.
Well, that's something I've tried to do a bit different this year because, like we said about the Liverpool block earlier, I've always just been too stubborn. Like with that, I think they got maybe
Yeah.
3 clean sheets in a row, and I thought, well, they're not going to carry on. And you just said the same about Almiron. Even if he scored 3 in a row, you would go, he's not going to score 4, he's not going to score
Yeah.
5, but he's carried on, hasn't he? So yeah,
Yeah.
I just chucked him straight in, and it was the same with Trippier. Really, I just thought I can't keep ignoring them. And then up front, I've got Harry Kane and Haaland. So I'm pretty happy with how Kane's been a bit quiet lately, but pretty happy with how them two have been. Just not having Salah's been the one that's killed me.
Yeah, a bit scary watching them games now. See, he's crept back into form.
Yeah, crept up to second now in the overall, hasn't he?
Yeah. Have you got plans to get him back in then?
Well, it's going to be a tough one, isn't it? It was annoying, really, because it was the opposite with him. So I kept him the whole way through, to be honest. And then I finally lost patience with him and took him out for Cancelo at the start. I
Yeah.
think that was the start of October. And then I think one of the first games that I didn't have him was that hat trick against Rangers.
Yeah. So
Sometimes it
frustrating.
just goes like that for you, doesn't it?
It does. That's the frustrations of the game, isn't it? When, like you say, just on and off at the wrong time kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's 44 points for the game week, and that team's on 766 points overall.
What?
Decent week, really. 44 points.
I'm just trying to see where it is overall rank. I did have it put down somewhere, but it's pretty poor. Overall, that's at 74k now, and I was actually going to ask you guys really, trying to think what's a realistic target to claw back from that sort of position, really.
As high as it wants, really. There's so much left in this game
Yeah.
this season. It's so early
Mm.
doors. We do get drawn to overall ranks, and the point gap between the top 10 or top 100 or top 1k. There's so much football to be played. So many points to be
20,
had.
23 more game weeks. I've got it down as, so it's a long way to go.
I mean, Ben, you're a master, mate. You're a master of your teams can be as like 100 odd k. It don't matter. You watch Ben's team in second half of the season. Honestly, you end up with he could be nowhere near like you know what I mean. All his teams outside the top 10k, and the next thing you know, he's got 5 in top 1k. It's unreal. It's unreal.
Comeback king. But I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
I've put down that it's 100. I was on FF stuff again because you can look at how far you are from each rank, can't you?
yeah.
And I sort of had 1k as just a target at the start of the season that I wanted to get to. And that's at 893. So I'd be about 127 points off that at the moment for
Yeah.
23 weeks.
23 game weeks to go. The thing is, you're saying you could lose 127 points in that time in 15 game weeks, 14 game weeks. Then you can easily make that back up as well. I think this week as well, the Arsenal blocks that was knocking around got so lucky. I say lucky. I mean, they obviously picked the blocks, but they wouldn't. If you had an Arsenal block, you wouldn't have moved away from it because it took you quite a lot of transfers to trans. But I made the moves to like the United players. Like I think I brought in Luke Shaw. I was stubborn with Trippier again. I had two screenshots. I had a Newcastle block, or Newcastle and Part City, or I do United Part City. I ended up going United and Part City. Cancelo -3, Dallo bloody -3, suspended. It just all went completely wrong. But then Arsenal had the away game at Chelsea, which you are thinking,
Yeah.
that block's not going to work.
Yeah.
Is the one that worked. Everybody conceded, even Newcastle, obviously, a late goal. It was just one of them.
Well, yeah, you'd
Leicester,
never look at that, would you?
Leicester was the block defense to have this little mini, you know, dead ender team
Yeah,
you could have gone
yeah.
for because they got 2 clean sheets this week.
And did Justin get a goal last night as well?
Yeah, he got 21 points, I think, for the week.
Crazy.
That's mad.
I
He went,
hope.
he
Ben
went off on a
Bravison Diaz,
stretcher.
2-2.
No,
2-0.
really?
Yeah. Sammy Smodix, Hammer fan. Hammer's season ticket holder,
Oh.
Is he?
assisted the goal as well. Go on, Rovers. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, you wouldn't think with Danny Ward though, would you? That Leicester clean sheet would be the one. I was looking the other day, and I
No.
think it was only a couple. There was only a couple keepers in the game that have got more clean sheets now.
Yeah, was it like 5 clean sheets in the last 6 now? They just look like a totally different team. that Vault face is just changed the back line. He's commanding the back line. He's brilliant.
Did I see
Yeah, he
Soyuncu
looks
inside
class.
the other day?
Yeah, he played against Man City. When we played a back three, and he came in for that game, and then he was injured again. He got a hamstring injury, but he was on the bench
Jesus.
yesterday, but didn't play.
Good to
But
see him
yeah,
back. He were immense the other season.
yeah. When
Unreal he
Maguire went
was.
to Man U, he was like just slotted straight in there. He was,
Yeah.
and everyone was saying, "Oh, he's better than Maguire in that." But
Yeah, he was brilliant.
last season, he just I don't know what happened. Just went off the boil.
Were you
Yeah.
quite happy with how Rodgers was doing? Because it was a tough time for Leicester, wasn't it, at one point?
Oh, I think he was very close to getting a sack, but
I
he's
Yeah.
don't
turned
know
it
how he
around.
survived. I have
I,
no idea how he survived.
I know it was like they've conceded like 23 goals since the first 7 games, and then since then they've conceded 3 goals in the next 7 games or something like that. It's just incredible turnaround.
I couldn't even see what they've specifically done though to shut up shop. Really, probably don't obviously
The,
don't watch as many games as what you would, but
I think they're a bit more rigid now, like the defense, and obviously Wout Face is commanding the back line now. Justin isn't flying forward as much as he was before. He's playing more as a like part of the back three, but he does go forward a bit. But it gives more Harvey Barnes the license to go, you know.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, Madison comes inside, and Castagna pushes on as like a right winger, so he's like a quite attacking defender. If you're looking for somebody, obviously in probably a different format, FPL or something, but
Yeah.
he's quite good because he gets up there and gets crosses in and that. But Justin played as a right back last night, and he come inside and scored with his left foot. And he's right footed. So,
Talented
but he
player.
went off on a stretcher last night.
Yeah.
So that's
Another right
another
back.
fullback injured that was on the fringes of the England team.
Unbelievable.
Mm.
Jinxed.
Trent's going around shooting them all.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Looks like
Poison
he's
it's him or
darts.
Ben
asleep on the
him or
plane.
Ben White.
Yeah, I'd take Ben White into the squad, definitely. He's had a really
Yeah,
good
he's been good.
season.
He's looking very good at right back, isn't he? Very, very good. Nice and
He-
comfortable. Solid, so solid defensively.
Mm,
But then I was always thinking, well, he's maybe a little bit limited going further forward, but he looks good going forward as well.
yeah.
He's looking like a complete right back now.
He used to play
Yeah,
midfield for Leeds, didn't he?
yeah, I think that's why he's looked so good on the ball. Like I hadn't seen that side of him really, but I had
Mm.
seen that. Was it under Bielsa? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had seen that he played in midfield as well, and you can really tell. Like it was that other week when he got an assist, didn't he? Put quite a good cross in, I
Mm.
think it was. And I was expecting that if he was going to play at right back, he was going to sort of really be part of a free when we didn't have like sort of when we were in build up. But yeah, he's been really getting forward now, and Tommy Asu on the other side's been the one that fills in.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only
Tomiyasu.
thing with if Zinchenko starts though, they might do that the other way around, where Zinchenko gets the license to roam, and then
Yeah,
Ben White will go back to being the one that stays back.
Yeah.
yeah, it does seem like
I
they
think
do
so.
that. Either one side or the other they choose at the start.
Yeah, come back straight back into the side. Did Zinchenko over there?
He had a good game as well. Yeah,
I don't think he can keep him fit. Talented player. Well, we'll just have a quick run through mine and your teams, Ben. So I had De Gea -2, Dalot -3, Sessegnon got me 4, Akanji 0 points. I don't know how far I want to go into that Cancelo penalty award. I think it was absolutely horrendous. I honestly didn't think it were a foul. I didn't think it were a foul first off. Then he obviously give the penalty, and then I was saying to Mrs. that about how disgusted I was that there were a penalty given because my clean sheets were about to go, and then I see a red card brandished. Honestly, I just didn't get it. Didn't get it, and then
well, it made it
you go
worse that there was about three of the same tackle, wasn't there? That
yeah,
weekend.
yeah, Trent's that push in the back off Trent. I mean that was so much worse, so much more blatant. It's no consistency, but we could slate refs all day every day. Couldn't we? Saka got me 4 points. De Bruyne 10 points. Mount 0 points. Almiron. I think this is the only team I'd brought Almiron into.
Really?
I think it was because the way it worked, I needed obviously the cash to bring Haaland back in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it worked out. And Almiron come in, gets me a nice 8 points. Haaland 4 points, taking his bloody shirt off. Does he not play fancy football? What's he doing? And there, I said to this, I said that's 5 or 8 points that, and then he's there swinging his shirt around. No, 4 points.
You know what the worst
That's
thing
what I
about
said.
it
He doesn't.
is? The worst thing about it is
Go
that
on.
he's took his shirt off, and his shirt underneath it looks exactly the same as the shirt he had on.
It does.
So
It
it's not
does.
like he's gone like took his top off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised they still booked him, considering he had sort of the Under Armour on underneath. But yeah,
All about the sponsor, innit? All about the cash, the front of shirt sponsor. Kane got me 5, and Mo Salah back on form, 13 points. All out 43 so far this week, 8-2-5 this team's sat on. I think it's my third best side. So
nice.
it's going all right. I'm not sure how high that is, but and it's one of the few teams where I've got quite a few transfers left, 3 transfers left. Usually my transfers go into the Discord, and again, this time, the last month when the transfers hit, I had some big decisions to make. I ended up with a 20-minute window. This time, it was my missus. I took her away for the weekend. We went glamping on the Saturday. We arrived at 20-3, and I literally had 19 minutes. I timed it 19 minutes to make the decision on all my sides. And obviously, with my main team being so high up, oh God, the pressure unreal. So I didn't get a chance to put my transfers into the Discord, but I went Jesus to Haaland, Foden to Almiron, which really
Both paid off.
Yeah, both paid off. Did 2 decent transfers. So I've got the power 3 up front, back in that side.
Yeah, I was just in awe of that, looking at that and De Bruyne as well.
Yeah, it's been a lot of people have possibly struggled because you got to have quite a high budget to be able to get them 4 in and still keep the side. What probably lets it down is possibly Sessegnon, who I think looks really good, but he's either not getting the game time, or when he does get the game time, Spurs like to concede a few, so he's not getting the points. But
They've got just too many options now at wing back, haven't they?
yeah, seems so. Happy enough with the side. Hopefully, can do a little bit before. Hopefully, a bit of budget building before going into the World Cup break.
Tony, I see your mate Mount still in there.
He is. I don't know how he survived this weekend, to be fair, but you have that feeling that, again, with like the Arsenal blocks, like everything was against Arsenal blocks being the victors this weekend, but they turned out to be the ones that were the ones to be on. And just have a little bit of that thinking with Mount was, yeah, I don't really fancy it, but he might pop up with a goal or 2, maybe a star man. So I just left him in that one. I tried to mix and match it, try and attack from different angles in 3 or 4 teams up the top. But yeah, one of them. And they've got a bit of a soft spot for Mason Mount, as you know. So
yeah, everyone's always got that one player, haven't they? They've always got a bit too much loyalty to on the game.
yeah, sounds.
But he has been good though previously.
He has. He does usually go with flurries. You've got to catch him at the right time, I think, with Mount.
Yeah, he's Potter's doing my head in with the rotation, moving the formations about. Mount played further back at the weekend, didn't he? He didn't play in the front 3. So I think I took him out of all my teams because he was expensive, and I just thought I wanted to get some Almirons in and use the money for some other stuff.
That's what's been doing my head in with Sterling, because he's just such a good dream team asset, like year in, year out, isn't he? And when he started, it almost looked like he was going to play as the striker, didn't he? At one point. But yeah, now he's kind of in that. It's not a true wing back, is it? But
it's crazy.
Well, 1 minute he's left. 1 minute he's almost a left back, and then against us, he was in the front 3, and you just can't seem to make his mind up.
Yeah, mental his position. Go on then, Ben. Have a run through yours, mate.
Do we have to?
Just a quick one, skim.
This is one of my worst teams now. Oh God,
Has it dropped that far?
yeah, it's that bad. I looked back at the history of it earlier on, and it was when Salah was on a bad run. I had Salah in the front three. Just pull it up. I had Salah in the front three, and Foden just scored a hat trick.
Yeah.
And Foden played every league game up to that weekend. So I was like, I've got to get on Foden. So I sold Salah to get Foden in. I brought Skamaka in because he scored a few goals. Okay, terrible move. And I brought Bowen in because he had a lovely run of fixtures, and Bowen's done nothing.
Yeah.
He
And
almost got started, didn't he?
I got Mount in for that. He scored 2 goals in one game. That was the same sort of time I brought Foden in, and then he's gone off the boil as well now. So, and then I moved Skamaka onto Firmino because I thought he's scoring a few important goals. He was earlier on in the season, he was scoring a few important. You're getting doubles in that, and then he's done nothing since I've had him in. So I broken him as well. So this team has gone down the pan, but I won't give up. I know, you know me, I'll keep going. So far this week, I have 14 points.
No.
Hey.
So I sold Mason Mount for Almiron to raise 1.2 million. And then on the Sunday, I was thinking, I want a bit of this United. I've got De Gea in already. So I decided to bring Luke Shaw in because I could have got Dallo, but obviously he was one yellow card away from suspension, and I was a bit worried about that. And I thought Shaw would be a bit more of a differential up until the unlimited transfers.
Yeah.
So I brought Shaw in, and then later on, when I seen Emerson Palmieri weren't starting again, I thought I'll bring in another United defender. So I brought in Lindelof. Oh God! So that was good. So -2 for De Gea, -1 for Shaw because he got a fluky assist. Cancelo -3, Lindelof -2. So that's all minuses. Bowen, nil point. De Bruyne got me 10 points. Foden pissing about again, nothing. Pet roulette.
Yeah.
Almiron, thank you very much, 8 points. Haaland, 4 points off the bench. Martinelli, nothing. And Firmino, nothing. This team has 682 points. And it's dwindling around 263k.
Oh,
Awful.
the curse of the
No idea what's
podcast
happening
team.
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea what's happening with Foden. Didn't play this one either, did he, today? I don't know if he came
No.
on.
Didn't start the weekend, didn't start tonight.
No, he didn't come on.
Strange. I
He didn't
hope
come on,
If he's not
Pep's resting him for the World Cup. That's why he's not playing.
What a guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I can't imagine
Yeah.
he'd do that for us, but
No. So strange, especially how he's been doing.
Get in, Rovers. We just won 10-9 on penalties. See you later, West Ham. That's one claret and blue down. Now it's time for Burnley at
Well,
the weekend.
Are you
that's
playing at the
terrible for the
weekend?
Go
for
on.
Blackburn. Oh, no, I was
Yeah.
going to say terrible time for the London teams, isn't it? My lot Arsenal are out, Spurs are out, West Ham are out.
Bloody hell.
That is a bit of a massacre, a London massacre.
Did you say you're playing Burnley at the weekend?
Yeah, big game at the weekend. Top 2 in the Championship as well.
You might get him in the cup as well.
Yeah, we might do. Coppers.
Well, they've gone from hoofball to total football under company, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
That's a turnaround.
They look decent. They haven't lost for quite a while as well. They got beat off Sheffield United at weekend 5-2, which I'm pretty happy about. it takes their invincibility cloak off before these derbies though can happen. So yeah, excited for that one. I'd say top two at Championship. Gonna be good to watch. Hey,
Not
you might
bad,
be
not bad.
picking Blackburn Rovers players next season as enablers. We will see. We will see. Right, let's get stuck into the listener questions. Fixie's first up. What's your advice to anyone that is quite happy with the look of the teams and has no need for any obvious transfers? Should we just target the last couple of fixtures for price gains, etc.? Do you reckon, Ben?
Yeah, if you're happy with your team, just keep your transfers until the after the last games, and then you can do target the price rises. Get rid of players that are definitely going down. Say like, for example, like if you had Cancelo and he was going down 0.3, you could sell him after the last game. Not obviously he ain't gonna hopefully he ain't gonna get a red card again at the weekend. But say someone gets a red card, you know they're gonna go down 0.3. So sell them and then bring in someone who scored a couple of goals. You'll get the 0.6 in the value on them.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Scott?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had as well. So I'd say just wait and I'd wait it out and just try and use the price changes as best as you can. But yeah, I mean the budgeting hasn't worked out too well for me so far. I've managed just to be fighting fires, to be honest. But yeah, if you're happy with your team, I'd just wait and try and boost up that value, I think.
Yeah, I think it wrapped it up in the questions. Obviously, if you're happy with your team, then stick with it. No need to change. Build that budget. Right, there's a couple here on Cancelo. Obviously, huge disappointment of the weekend. Aman has asked, do you transfer out Cancelo? He's going to go down 0.3 or keep him for the weekend? And also, C. Tobbs has asked, will you all be taking out Cancelo to catch a price rise and a 0.6 swing with his red card? Or is it still a waste of a transfer as he's eligible to play against Brentford next week? What will you be doing with him, Ben?
I've got a fucking cold. I can't. So if you've got loads of transfers, you still got 5 transfers. You could do where you sell Cancelo before the price drops, and for somebody that's going up, anybody that's going up, like it's going to definitely go up 0.3. Say like James Justin, and then if he's back in the team on the weekend, you can bring him back in again for the game.
Yeah,
But
sell
I
him
don't
into.
really like doing that. So truth, but like if you've got 5 transfers and you know that you're going to gain some value on it.
Yep.
I mean, Cancelo, you want him for that fixture, really, don't you? For the Brentford
Yep.
game.
I mean, you're as good as catching a 0.3 price rise, and then you're getting Cancelo versus Brentford.
Mm.
All right, it's costing 2 transfers, but you got to fancy him to do a bit. Yeah, it was a harsh one, as we said earlier. It's a great. I like it, Ben.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Justin in though because he went off on a stretcher. Just trying to think of someone who scored a good points. I'd say Felt Face or something like that. He's got good points at the weekend.
Yeah, just someone who's probably
Yeah,
maxed out, who you know is going to probably do the 0.3 rather than a 0.2.
yeah.
You don't want to do it and be a bit disappointed that they only got a 0.1 or a 0.2 rise. Because
Because
obviously, if you're going to switch straight back anyway.
yeah, and if Cancelo's not in the starting lineup at the weekend, then you might end up staying with the player you put in.
So you don't want it James Justin.
Mm.
Did you say that Trippier came on in the end in this league game? I guess he could be one of the ones if you hadn't got him
Yeah,
already, because he got star man and then he'd get the clean sheet points tonight if he did come on.
yeah. So he
Yeah, I
got
think
15 points.
he snuck on the pitch, didn't he? Snuck a 5-pointer. The little
So
rascal.
he'll have to be a 3.3 rise.
Definitely.
Oh, scored his penalty as well. Scored his penalty. Newcastle
Star
went
man,
through on
star
penalties.
man.
It wouldn't surprise me. What do you reckon, Scott, about Cancelo? What are you going to be doing with him, mate?
Yeah, I haven't got the transfers to really burn. I've got one left, so but for me, I'm going to just be keeping him anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, long term, I'm going to want to hold him. So I wasn't too bothered about trying to chase the budget in that one, and I think he'll do well against Brentford when he. It is Brentford the next
Yeah.
game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great player to have on Dream Team, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a shame across the 3 home games. They're hoping that he were going to probably chuck his price up even more and get maybe a 0.6
Mm.
rise from these home games. As it's happened, I'm just hoping now that in some of my sides that he can just recover his price back to where it was before these 3 home games. So let's say a clean sheet against Brentford should get his rise back up. It probably won't be as much as a 0.3, but get somewhere near it. If he can sneak a goal, a star man, that'd be nice. But yeah, like I say, I'd be in some of my teams. I've not got the luxury to be able to make the move. But any teams with 5 transfers, I'd be doing what Ben said there. Definitely. Right, flower pot man, a little bit different. This question: what's your go-to when going to the chip shop? For him, it's fish, chips, peas, and gravy, and a can of dandelion and burdock.
Fish and
Some,
gravy.
oh yeah, he's got to be
That's a
called
new
out for
one.
that. Called out for that. That's horrendous. That's
I've seen
horrendous.
that drink and never tried it.
Dandelion and burdock.
No, I never tried
Ah,
it. No,
that's an old one. We used to get that off the pot man. Did
classic.
you used to have a pot man?
Pop man.
No,
Yeah. Never
No,
had the
what's
pot
that?
man. He used to
no.
come
What's
round
that?
in a van, in a white tranny van. He'd come round knocking your door and he'd ask you what pop you want. And you get bottles of like lemonade, cherry, dandelion and burdock, whatever it might
No, I
be.
never had that.
So you get them in a little crate. Then you'd
I'll
drink
have
the
to.
pot, put the empty bottles back in. He'd come round the next week, collect your empties, and then ask what you wanted for next round. Pop man.
I'll have to have it. I'll have to have it on the next episode. I'll do a review. I'll do a review for Flower Pot Man.
yeah, dandelion and burdock, cracking drink. The drink's all right, mate, but yeah, gravy on your fish, that's wrong.
Yeah.
What are you going for, Ben?
Well, up here where I live, I don't get fish and chips. I get Parmo and chips from the chip shop. Have you ever heard of a Parmo, Scott?
Never.
It's called a parmesan, but they call it a Parmo up here. So basically, it's chicken chicken with breadcrumbs on, covered in bechamel sauce, and then like lathered with cheese on top.
That does sound good. I've never seen it. Never seen that in the chip shop myself. But that does
Yeah,
sound good.
goes in the pizza oven, like, and then you can get toppings on it as well. Beautiful.
It's gonna be one. It's gonna be one of them things that I'll go in the chip shop and ask for it, and it's actually a wind up.
No,
Oh, you gotta go to Middlesbrough, haven't you?
yeah, you can only get it in Middlesbrough.
Yeah, you can only get it in
I have to take
Middlesbrough. It sounds delicious.
It is. It is.
Gonna have to do the tour of the chip shops. I'll have to go and get the go get that and have my dandelion burdock.
We'll touch on my northern chippy. I've always been to Chinese chippy, so my go-to's jumbo sausage, chips, egg fried rice with curry sauce all over it.
A Chinese chip shop.
Oh yeah, always
That's
Chinese
a
chip
mashup.
shop. It is a little bit. So they do in here in Darwin. Like most of our chippies are Chinese chippies. And yeah, so you can get your egg fried rice with it. Egg fried rice and half egg fried rice, half chips, jumbo sausage down middle, pour curry sauce over the top. Delicious.
That sounds nice.
These were not answers I was expecting. Two quite out there ones. Mine's going to seem quite boring in comparison.
Don't say.
What about your drink?
What
about your drink?
Oh, it's going to be Diet Coke. Balance it out.
Diet Coke.
Yeah. Watching the waistline while you're having fish and chips. Yeah.
Go on then. Don't say large chips, Scott. Large chips is something.
No. But to be honest, I'd either have two things. I'd either just have like just a normal cod and chips. I reckon. Definitely no gravy though. You don't get gravy in the chip shop this way. But
Oh, no gravy,
I'd have
mate. I've
I'd
seen that
have
videos, no gravy, mate.
I'd have sausage and batter and chips with curry sauce though. Curry sauce is the go-to.
Yeah, definitely curry sauce.
But
Chip shop
drink
pretty
wise, I was
soon.
just thinking, what I used to have as a kid because I used to be at Apple Tango. I used to always get from the fish and chip shop. I don't know if they still do it, do they?
See,
Depends, doesn't it?
I don't know whether Apple Tango is still knocking about. I'm not too sure.
No, but yeah, that used to be my go-to.
Can of Iron Brew, I like.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's good. That's good.
that's because you're nearly on borders of Scotland, aren't you?
Iron Brew,
Local drinks for local people.
made from
I really
Gandel.
didn't like this question though. The minute I read this come through in the Discord, do you know when you just imagine it and then you start getting hungry?
Oh yeah, I'm hungry now. I could eat jumbo sausage, chips, egg fried rice, curry sauce. Do that now. Demolish it, definitely. Yeah, nice to have a chat over
Good
food.
question.
Lee Hooper, next up. Any early thoughts on the DT World Cup game? I know you're not planning to look into it properly yet, but again, I've struggled a little bit with it because I've added my teams in, but then the provisional pricing just kills it for me. I just can't. I can't do it, and we'll touch on it a little bit later. But we're going to do a little bit of content for it. But how can you do content when you don't know the prices? I don't know what team I can have.
Mm.
Don't know what players are at value because if they're not going to price them properly. So yeah, it's just a strange one throwing the game out with provisional prices. I don't like it. So yeah, I haven't looked into it. What do you reckon, Ben? What do you make of it?
Yeah, I've just got my teams auto filled them, and then I've left them for now. I'm not going to look at them until all the squads are announced, and then the
Yeah,
teams update the games updated, which will
yeah,
probably be this weekend. So I'll have a look after
yeah,
the games finished at the weekend.
yeah. Completely
And
agree.
like you say, we'll probably do a bit in the next week's pod, won't we?
Yeah, well, we could definitely touch upon it if people want to ask some questions, like questions for the podcast, obviously, because it'll just be basically an end of the game week, so there'll be dead end rubber questions. So if people want to ask about the Dream Team, the World Cup, that's absolutely fine. So, Scott, have you had a look at it, mate? Are you feeling a little bit the
I
same?
done this. I done the same. To be honest, it was actually just today. I saw I didn't have an answer really for the question because I just hadn't looked at it. But I just went
Yeah,
on and done what you said. I've auto filled the team, got it ready. But yeah, for me, I haven't even played around with it. You've got to know we can't win though, can we? Because we always complain that Dream Team are the last ones to get anything
it's
ready.
true. It's true.
And then the year they've got it out first, we're like, we ain't got the
It's not.
prices.
Yeah, not worth pissing around
But
with.
I did want to say
Yeah.
though, I did want to share this with you though quickly because I don't know what your opinions of the sort of international games are overall, but I've been completely scarred from the World Cup game from back in 2014. So I don't know if you've won any of these Euros or World Cups, but I had one where I was winning. It was 2014, the final, and I was winning. And I was on holiday in Turkey, so winning my mini league, and I was watching it. Do you know when you're outside in the nice weather, watching it on the big screen?
Ah, yeah, lovely.
And I was winning my mini league live, and it was when Germany won 1-0 against Argentina. But the guy who was in second place in my mini league had Mertesacker, and he came on in the 120th minute as like a run the clock down, and he done me by a point.
Oh,
And
Oh,
since then, I saw him warming up, and I was going, "Don't do it, don't do it." And he started texting me, my mate, he's coming on. 120th, he came on 120th minute, didn't touch the ball, got the 5 points, and I got done by a point in the end. So since
that's
then,
shocking.
I've never felt the magic, never felt the dream team magic for the international tournaments.
Yeah, we last in the Euros
well,
last.
Tony won the last Euro mini league we but didn't was it the last one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
That's
I
fixed,
have.
fixed.
I had to piss and fight for it though.
Yeah,
I
fixed.
mean, they messed all the points up at the end, didn't they?
Oh yeah,
Jesus
Oh
Christ!
yeah,
Yeah, that were interesting. Yeah, but we did all right. I had a decent thing in it. Me and you did a team as well, Ben, didn't we? In the main bit, and
yeah.
we had a nice run at it. I think our strategy was probably right, which yeah, probably look into next pod and and go over a bit of strategy, maybe look at some of the fixtures and stuff. Yeah, I think we got it right, Ben. Could have been closer, maybe. Just there are a few. I think the England blocks started just absolutely flying, didn't they? In Euros,
Yeah.
absolutely flying. So yeah, it was good. Enjoy it. Well, like you say, a harsh experience like that sometimes.
Yeah, I'll find it
Sometimes
hard to judge
painful.
the transfers in those international ones, but yeah, I'll watch the next episode, find out.
That year that Portugal won the Euros, I won my mini league, my main mini league, and I think I had Rafael Guerrero in my team as my differential.
Hmm.
Can't remember if he scored a free kick in the semi-finals or something like that, and I think he might have been involved with the goal in the final, and that like proper boosted me up. And I had Patricio in goal as well. Yeah,
It's not.
that was class.
It's a
Was that
nice little
when
break.
Ronaldo was being the manager?
Yeah, yeah, on the sidelines.
when
He went
you
off
got
injured,
when you
didn't he?
yeah
Mm.
when you got one of the Euros, the World Cups, it's nice to break that summer up in it when you when you're missing the fantasy football and the dream team and stuff. So
Yeah, but not in the middle of the winter.
it's a bit strange, isn't it? It's really strange. It's going to take some getting used to. Like we're halfway through a game and then we're starting a new game
Mm.
to then re-pick up another game. It's going to be it's going to be one of them. But right, Wadey's been on. Is Flower Pot Man earmarked to be a guest on next week's pod? Yeah, we all know it would need a fair bit of editing, but would be pure gold. I think we've asked Flower Pot Man a few times. He wants to come on. He's more than welcome. We'd have anybody on. Anybody who's wanted to come on and have a chat with me, Ben and James. That's happy days. I think Flower Pot Man likes to keep his cards close to his chest. He's got some mini leagues to win, but we'll see. We'll see further down the line whether he's open to it. Drop us a DM, Flower Pot Man. Right, Connor, what's the plan for Dream Team Tonic World Cup content? You boys using it as a break, like for my blogs, or are you going to be smashing out content? I'll just answer that bit first. We have signed up to do a couple of articles for the hub, which obviously being patrons, you will also get access through. They'll be posted through the Discord as not the Discord, sorry, through the Patreon website. So you'll get access to them articles before the World Cup game kicks off. Other than the two articles that we plan to do, we've not quite decided, have we yet, Ben? We might do a bit.
Yeah, we're going to do a pod next week anyway, so we'll probably look into how the game works and how many
Yeah,
transfers you've got and the rules and that, and then maybe have a look at some picks and that for the player picks for the tournament.
yeah, I think that'd be nice. We'll touch it on next one. So whether they'll be run through the World Cup, well, me and Ben like a beer and a chat. So yeah,
Yeah, we
we might
probably
just
will,
hit
won't we?
might just hit the record button and then send it to you to let you listen to us waffle on if you fancy. But yeah, no set in concrete yet, other than the two articles and obviously next week's pod. But and would also like to know if my good mate Professor will be smashing out World Cup content. Have you got any plans, Scott?
Not that well, I am going to be doing content, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like at the minute
Yeah,
on the YouTube channel. Yeah, at the minute I sort of do the reviews of the how each game has gone or how each game week's gone on the standard Dream Team. But yeah, the games are coming too thick and fast, aren't they, for the World Cup to be doing videos sort of every sort of morning. So yeah, I'll have something coming up, but I'm not quite sure what it'll look like at the moment.
yeah, good stuff, mate. Like I say, you need to give yourself a plug as well with your YouTube channel. If you want to give it a
Yeah,
shot
yeah.
at, mate.
So on YouTube, I'm just Dream Team Professor. I've only sort of been doing it for about a month now, but yeah, really enjoying that. And you can catch us on Twitter as well. So just Dream Team Prof.
Excellent, mate. Some great stuff. Good to have you. Good to have you involved.
Yeah, well,
Enjoying the videos, mate.
if you're gonna be just chatting about the World Cup games, I'll happy jump on them with you as well.
There you are. There you are. We've now got a third body on for the World Cup games. So yeah. Ryan Driver, is there going to be a World Cup league? Something to keep us ticking all over. obviously, since that was asked, I have put it out for the one shot Dream Team Tonic Cash League for the World Cup. So a little bit different. Only one team entered per manager, which I think evens it up a little bit sometimes for people who don't class themselves as elite managers, or what you like to say. I think having just one chance at it allows a few more people to get involved in the prize money. So, yeah, one team, £15 entry. Yeah, should be fun. Should be fun. That's open now. The If you're in the Discord, then go across to the league and competitions. You'll see it up on there. Anybody that's listening who follows us on Twitter at Dream Team Tonic, it's the pinned tweet there. You'll find all the information, paying, and obviously drop us a DM after you've paid, and we'll get you the code across. Anybody else who's listening on YouTube, if you want to drop a comment below. If you're not on Twitter or on the Discord, drop a comment below and I'll get the information across to you for the league if you want to get involved. Right.
Did you say it was a top 3 payout?
Yeah, top 3 payout. Obviously, prize is dependent on how many teams we get entered, but that's obvious. We'll announce that once the game kicks off on the Saturday, and a trophy to the winner. Always nice to have a trophy.
Yeah.
And this year, I'm not gonna buy the trophy pre-armed. I'm gonna buy it engraved. So whoever wins, it'll have your name on it.
Ah, lovely.
Nice little touch, I think, this time.
Open top bus.
That's it. Right, next up, DC Patrick. This is one for you, Dream Team Professor Scott. How's the experience of setting up a podcast going, and what are the main challenges, mate?
Yeah, it's been good actually, to be fair. Do you know what? It's something that I was thinking about doing for so long. But I actually think the main sort of stumbling block wasn't like any of the technical stuff. It was actually just like the putting yourself out there part, really.
Yeah.
The bit that I was least wanting to do was the sort of showing your face, even just talking to a camera, like just sat in a room on your own. And like you're nervous talking to the camera and there's no one there.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like the biggest stumbling block for me, to be honest. But all the sort of stuff like editing and posting and all that stuff, I was pretty comfortable doing that. But the only sort of tough bit, which you guys will probably know all about, is just being organised. It takes a lot of time to put the stuff out there, doesn't it? And you've got to sort of have a schedule. So probably that sort of part of it. But yeah, the actual doing of it's not too bad. When you start talking about football, it's all good. But it was actually the initial stumbling block of, God, am I going to put something out there? Is anyone going to even bother listening to it?
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it in a minute. And the feedback's been good from people so far.
Happy days. Yeah, it's really, like I say, it's the fear of, abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, you put a tweet out the other day and got quite a lot of abuse, didn't you, Scott?
Yeah, that was good. I might have deserved it. All I really did was just I just sort of said, would he get key to the city or something, Harry Kane?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of that.
Yeah, something like that for his achievements in his outstanding achievements in football. And all I just sort of said was, what achievements? He hasn't really won anything yet. But yeah, I got messages like, you live in your mum's basement. What have you ever done? He earns more than you in a day. I was like, well, yeah, he probably does. Probably more than you as well. But yeah, you get it, don't you? You get. I probably asked for it. But yeah, I think it got retweeted by quite a big Spurs account, and I did get some. I got some nasty comments, but I got thick skin.
Yeah,
So,
you've got
all
it.
part of it.
It made me chuckle. I think it was a fair question as well, what you asked, to be fair.
What was the one? What was the one that probably all of us would have taken personally? I was like, your account's based about Dream Team. Have a look at yourself.
Yeah. Have a look at your own life, mate.
Yeah. So sorry, Kane, and sorry, Spurs fans.
Yeah. That's it. All made up now. Kiss made up. Matt Woolley, how did you navigate Haaland on the bench in the end? And on a related subject, if you can only have Kane and Salah for next Saturday, which one would you want? Ben, what did you do with Haaland?
So when I seen he was on the bench, with the teams I already had him in, I just left him in, and then with the teams I didn't have him in, I didn't bring him in. Basically, I went a different route. And what's that say? If you can only have Kane or Salah for the next Saturday, which one would you want?
Yep.
I'd say Salah. I think Salah's on fire at the minute. He's got more chance of scoring multiple goals. Spurs don't look very good at the moment. Kane will probably score, but I don't know. I just think Liverpool's got more chance of scoring more goals.
Yeah.
What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, at the minute, well, navigating Haaland, I just kept him in because I just haven't got the bottle to take him out. To be honest, you know what he's capable of doing in just one game, don't you? Um, but yeah, I did think if he was completely left out of the squad for that Fulham game initially, I thought I was going to take him out for Salah. But as soon as I saw that he was going to be on the bench, I just kept him in. But yeah, if I had the choice, I'd probably go Haaland and Salah and ditch Kane at the minute. But yeah, I haven't got the budget to do it. But I think Haaland and Salah are probably the best two at the minute.
Yeah. I obviously having the transfers last time, obviously when Holland got injured, I took him out. And then I reworked my squads to get him back into nearly every one. I think he went back into all my sides. It's just too scary not having him. Absolute animal. Obviously, he didn't play tonight, but I'm hoping that means he starts the weekend. Came on and scored the winner against Fulham. So, which, to be fair, that penalty only just only just slipped through. That could have
Yeah.
very easily have been a very expensive -3 points with Holland coming off the bench. But yeah, I
He's a
worked Holland
nightmare
back
though,
into all my
Pep, isn't
side.
he?
Yeah.
He is. He is. Uh, we never tire of
You
saying,
see the
you know,
comments today?
No.
Even like Pep's comments, even at the minute, are just like, "Oh yeah, he's still not 100%. His foot's not broken, but it's really bad. We're not really sure. You just don't know. He's just
Yeah.
like bluffing all the time.
yeah. But he played the last game, not this game, but
Yeah,
might play the next game. Yeah, you just did guesswork, but it shows with the supply line he's got there. I mean, he scored an offside goal straight away. Then he's scored the penalty. You're only on the pitch 45 minutes.
mm.
So
The only thing I do think of those, I'm looking at Kane now and wondering, is it going to be in the back of his mind? Everyone getting injured now. He's got what, one game left.
Yeah.
Is he really going to be firing like Salah and Haaland are? Because neither of them two are going, are they?
no,
Yeah, and Salah won't probably get taken off, and Kane might get taken off because he'd be thinking, well, you're going to the World Cup. I'll take you
yeah,
off with 70th minute.
I always
Salah
think that.
probably play
But,
90
but
minutes.
you're one game before a World Cup.
Mm.
Obviously, at the age Kane is as well. Um, is he going to be flying into these 50-50s? Is he going to be giving 120%? I always think that. Or is he going to hold back? He's not going to get himself. He's not going to dip his leg into a challenge that he might need to win. Or do you think? Do you think that happens? I think it does. In my head, I'm thinking these players will hold back a little bit because he won't want to get injured just on the eve of the World Cup.
Yeah, like players like Kane will be probably a bit weary of that because he knows he's definitely on the plane. But like
Yeah,
players like Madison and that
they know
want
they're
to.
going to perform and try.
They're good.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're going to still try and put 100% in because they want to. Well, obviously they want to prove that they're worth the while. But the squad gets announced tomorrow, so it won't matter what he does at the weekend. Saying that, Madison.
I mean, Madison could do it. He could score 17 goals in one game, and Southgate would still say that. Yeah, Harry Maguire's a better option to take with him.
Raheem
Yeah,
Sterling.
Yeah,
yeah,
that is a good point though, because yeah, like obviously Kane knows he's starting, but I actually put down sort of in some of my notes that in that Arsenal front line, for example, you've got Gabriel Jesus, who
Mm.
he's not a nailed starter for Brazil. So I think against
Yeah.
Wolves, he's going to come flying out, trying to prove himself last minute. And even Saka's competing with Foden, and Martinelli's just got himself in the squad, hasn't he? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think any of those three might be really trying to just prove a last minute point.
Mm.
Then do they
Interesting one.
have a manager like Southgate who isn't really basing? He says he likes to go off the form and of players, but then happily plays players that are way out of form for the clubs. Like Madison, how's Madison never got a look in? It's crazy. But then people like even Sterling at the Euros. I think before the Euros he was having a bit of a dodgy spell,
Yeah.
and his words were, which is fair enough because Sterling had a very good Euros, but he said he's never let me down.
Yeah.
But are you picking off form or are you picking off form for England? I don't quite get which way he goes. I think it's whatever he fancies.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just whatever suits his
Yeah,
dilemma.
at that time, yeah. So go to the Brazil lads up front for Arsenal. Is their manager going to watch that game and think that's going to tweak how I pick my team, or are they just on the plane and
Yeah, maybe.
he's already got his starting 11 in his head? And
He's
you
got
might
Danny Elvis. Got Danny Elvis in the squad, and he still.
that's unbelievable. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I'd have Salah all day long for the weekend. Have they got Leeds? No, Southampton. Sorry,
Yeah. Southampton.
um,
Tottenham's got Leeds.
Tottenham got Leeds. Yeah, I think Kane's half on that plane. Salah coming into form. Yeah, Salah for me definitely.
No World Cup either, is it? So
No World
no.
Cup. He's just going to be giving it his all. He don't care. He'd be on a beach a few days later. Right, Andy Barnett. Not a question, but a big thumbs up to DT Professor. I enjoy listening to your YouTube videos.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I've had a few back and forth messages with Andy, so yeah, thanks a lot. He's been good.
The top man, Andy. Top
Yeah,
man.
proper good community you got there as well. Like, I would never have known there was like these groups of people like minded all chatting. So it's been good to join.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a good help. Nice place to be. Most of the time.
Andy
Right.
does. Sorry, go on.
Go on.
I was just going to say Andy does some good philosophical videos now and again on YouTube as well. I really enjoyed them.
He does. He's a very good thinker, is Andy.
Yeah,
I
very
like
deep
his thoughts
thinker.
around the game. Like we do have a chuckle when his questions come through. And they're quite a few paragraphs, but they're very good. Like I say, he's a very good thinker of the game. Top manager.
Yeah, cheers.
And talking about the it's nice most of the time. The Discord. Here he is, Walmart Statham. He's Tony's bottom of his Patreon Cup League with 0 points and 100% loss record. Is he really all that? If I didn't laugh, I'd cry. But I've got me. In fact, actually, I'm playing Walmart Statham this week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, fighting talk.
Unfortunately for me, he's probably going to inflict my 50 feet to carry on my 100% defeat record. But my concentration's been taken, mate. It's been taken by the league. When I picked my cup team last season, I did the exact same, and I played my under 21s, and I've done it again this season. I just played my lesser side. I put my under 21s out, and I got caught out again. If I'd have played my full side, I'd have probably won a few games and probably been qualifying. But yeah, next season I'll come back better. Sorry to all the fans and stuff, but yeah, it's one of them. The league has to take the priority. So you beat my under 21s, Walmart. That's fine, mate. We'll see you next season. Big guns will be out. Enjoy the victory, mate. Anyway, Henry Cartridge has been on Twitter. What do we think the winning score will be this year? It might give some players hope in knowing how many points are still to play for. There's a hell of a lot of points still to play for. I had a quick flick through myself. The winning points from the last 3 seasons: 2,867 winning score from last season. When Fergie won it, It was 2697. Season before that, it's 2568. It's gradually got higher. I think having Haaland, is it going to push it even higher this season? If he carries on in that vein of form, I think he's going to probably tip it up towards 2950. If Haaland's a bit of a victim of Pep Roulette and he doesn't carry on his form, you're probably looking about between 2.8 and 2.9. I'd say, as a rough guess, we don't really know, but ultimately it says there's probably quite a lot of points to play for. What do you reckon, Ben?
Yeah, I was looking at the leaderboard as well, and it's just about getting to 1,000 points, the top team. So there's about just under 2,000 points still to play for, if you look at it like that. So there's still loads of points. Like, we're only a third through the season. There's loads of points to play for. So don't give up. We're done that. I mean, like, just keep going.
Yeah, definitely. With all your teams as well. What do you reckon, Scott?
Yeah, I'd said similar. So the Haaland effect, I thought that's got to at least bump it up by about 100 points. I'd have thought. So I put down 2950, but I only looked at last season. To be fair, I didn't look at the last three. But the only thing I did put though that might possibly bring it down is that there hasn't been a standout defence yet. I don't
Yeah.
think. Like last season, you had the Liverpool block. It might still come up, but yeah, if the defences still stay quite inconsistent, maybe it won't get so high.
That's true. Very true. Unless Newcastle defence
Yeah.
absolutely flying. Another one to do with ranks. John Davey on Twitter. Should we be looking at overall rank right now? 3 teams in the top 15k, but I feel like I'm miles away from the top in terms of points and looks impossible to catch up, as he's around 180 points difference already between first and 15k. Ben, the comeback king, you know the drill.
Well, if my team's 16k, my best team, so, and I'm still pushing. I'm not giving up. Just keep going. Definitely. There's loads of points to play for, and I just think you got nothing to worry about. Just keep going, mate. What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, I've said sort of by all means keep an eye on it, but just don't let it hinder like
Yeah.
your decision making, because like last year when, like I mentioned earlier, I was looking at it and I fell far behind, so then I started making stupid decisions to catch up when actually the best decision would have been just to pick the guys that were doing the best at the time.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't panic and then start making silly moves, because I've done that and you just fall further behind. You end up picking people. It's like betting, isn't it? Like it's almost like you've lost initially, so then
Yeah.
you start betting on like people with higher odds, which it's never gonna end well, is it? So yeah, I just think don't let it influence your decision really, and just keep choosing the best players.
Definitely.
Don't get on the Chelsea train.
That's it. Yeah, 3 teams in top 15k. There's some good finishes to be had with them 3 teams. If you can keep it up, just plug on with them. Definitely.
I was gonna say as well, just for me as well, just don't keep looking at it if it's gonna like make your experience of the game not as fun, to be honest. Because as I said, I sort of played for about 8 years before I even realised there was a proper leaderboard. I knew you could win money and some guy would win money, but I never thought that it was anything achievable, to be honest. I just focused on my own league. So yeah, if it's something you're going to just going to be looking at all the time and it makes you not enjoy the game as much, I wouldn't bother looking.
Yep. Great. Definitely. Right, let's have a run through the Dream Team Tonic Cash League then, Ben. Do you have a read of the top 10 there, mate?
Aye. In 10th place, we've got Stephen Bestwick. 9th place, Leo Reed. Joint 7th, we've got Simon Davis and Lee Watson. 6th place, Jake Bevan. 5th place, Stephen Williams. 4th place, Leo Reed. 3rd place, Simon Davis. 2nd place, Tom Brinley. And top of the shop, Tony Sutcliffe.
Excellent. That gap's closing though.
Fixed.
I know. I'm an absolute stinker this week. Look at that, 27 points. Absolute stinker. Thanks, United.
You've dropped down a bit, haven't you, on the overall leaderboard?
Yeah, our like cliffhanger, clinging on to top 100. I don't know what I am today now. I don't know if it's updated or not. But yeah, I were 100th before these games kicked off. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you offered me 100 at this stage before the World Cup, I'd have snapped your hand off.
Yeah,
Snap your hand off.
definitely.
I think I bet 58 points off top, something like that.
Still close there, aren't you? You still got a good
Yeah.
chance of pushing.
Yeah, it's still in striking distance. Obviously, at one point being up at fourth, in second, it was nice, but them Arsenal blocks, it's so quick to turn around. So we'll just see how it goes. I know how this game works. Been playing it long enough to know that it can be quite harsh sometimes. And then in the Tonic Cash League, I've got a flower pot man up my arse, which I think we had a bit of a to and fro in the Euro League as well with flower pot man. That was quite a close ending in that league. So yeah, there's two up there again. The DT Tonic Patron League, top 10. So in 10th, we've got Patrick Bryson. In 9th, Mark Warner. In 8th, Barry McCormack. In 7th, Mark McKee. In 6th, Stephen Broughton. In joint 4th, we've got Nicholas Stephen and Peter Franklin. In 3rd, Tom Brindley, up there again. In 2nd, Jake Bevan. And top of the shop by nearly a 50-point lead now is Lee Houghton. Well played, Lee. Nice score there, 925. He must be knocking around quite close to the top 100 as well. So we've got some quite good ranks out of some of these lads in the Patreon, which is good to see. Hopefully we're helping along the way. That's all for this evening. It's been great to have you on, Scott. Appreciate
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And obviously we were meant to be, could have been Sunday, meant to be Monday, ended up Wednesday. So thanks very much for your flexibility. And
Like a Craig David song, that.
it was a little bit.
Thanks for having us.
No, it's been our pleasure, and obviously we'll get you back on at some point if you're happy to come back and
Yeah, sounds good.
share your journey with us again. Ben, it's been emotional, mate.
Aye.
And like I say, we'll see you next weekend. Have we got Matt Woolley on next weekend?
Yeah, Matt Woolley. Finished 19th overall last year.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of news from Matt Woolley, and we've touched on the World Cup.
Yeah.
The World Cup Dream Team as well. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys for listening. Appreciate your support on the Patreon. If you want to get involved in the Discord and the Patreon, head over to patreon.com/Dream Team Tonic and get involved. Until then, see you later.
Cheers, bye.